Conscious collaboration brings together entrepreneurs, changemakers, and thought leaders. We aim to highlight the people that embody the idea of aligned mind, body, and business. Each week, we share, discuss, and learn from the various experiences and ideas of our guest experts. Through our discovery, we find a path to an aligned mind, body, and business.
What is up, y'all? This is Emily.
And I'm Lisa, and we are the Conscious Collaboration. How you doing, Emily?
I'm good. How you doing?
Are you excited about today?
I'm so excited. We have a really fun episode.
We want to introduce to everybody Marianne, Shaffer, and John Panagos from Pinellas Technical College. Did I say that right?
Yeah.
And they are from the web development program. And we've already met with them today. They had us inside of one of their classes. We did a Q&A and learned everything about this really cool, exciting podcast project initiative that they cooked up together. And they're here to share with us today. So, Marianne, why don't you share a little bit about who you are and John, who's with you?
Okay, thank you so much. I really appreciate this opportunity. Yes, my name is Marianne Shaffer, and I'm the instructor for the web development program at Pinellas Technical College. And for a while now, I've had an idea or I've just always thought it would be cool to, for the students to have a podcast, to, essentially give them a voice to explore, topics that matter to them. And just an opportunity for, them to be excited. The day-to-day in the classroom sometimes can get a little overwhelming. So I thought it would be really nice to have that creative outlet and just a way to, share their experiences and connect with community outside of the classroom. So what we do in the classroom is we do definitely support collaboration and really promote, facilitating those relationships. And so I then try to push them further to keep networking outside of the classroom. And I thought the podcast would be a great way to do that for them. And, as I see the students have an opportunity to think outside the box and come up with their own ideas and become the leader of something, it's really energizing on my end, and it's really a beautiful thing to see. And what comes out of it are just truly special moments, just like this morning when we had our Q&A. It's just truly amazing to see what people have to share. So yeah, that's kind of what my goal was with it. And John came in, he started last term, and he's just had such a great energy. He's very outspoken and outgoing. And I think, he's definitely become a leader already in the classroom, and he's been kind of taking the lead on this project and getting people really excited about it and involved. And he's even gone so far as to sharing what the value of this is. And he's really been promoting it. And I think he's been the glue that kind of has really brought this together. And now we're ready to, this is their project really. So now they are ready to kind of get this started. So I'm going to let John share his thoughts too. So I'm not taking all the talking.
Hello, I'm John. So I came into PTC and I was really excited because I knew that I wanted to get into web development. I knew that I needed to get myself some sort of skill, and I thought that this would be a great program for myself, just because of the job opportunities and not only the speed of the course, but it really sets you up with the foundations for continuing your career after it. So that was a big thing for me, and that's what really had my interest in. And I thought that this was going to be a pretty just chill school experience for me. And then I come into the classroom, I started going through the course, talking to Miss Shaffer, developing connections with some of the other students. And I really started to see value just beyond this as like a school thing. I saw it more as like a an opportunity to develop it outside of school too, because eventually we want to end up making like careers for ourselves at some point with these skills. And um yeah, it like really started with talking to other people, talking about um the projects that Miss Schaefer so we started with the IT Academy project, which we're still doing now, but the concept and the idea began with Miss Schaefer and some of the other IT Academy managers. I mean, the IT Academy teachers. Sorry about that. I'm a manager.
That's okay. It sounded correct to me.
Yeah. But she met with some of the other teachers. We discussed some ideas in the classroom, and now we have not only like a group project, which I fortunately became like the manager of with one of the other students who graduated this last term, um, which of whom I was also like really good friends with. Uh, and now we've started to develop beyond the IT Academy project to the podcast as well, and both in their own way. So the IT Academy project is like a good way for us to show our coding skills and we're basically making a survey for new students that want to see um, what um, what IT Academy class they'd be interested in between CSIT, cybersecurity, web development, and there's like one more, I think, right?
Network support.
Network support, almost forgot. Yeah, that's not a good look. But then we started doing that, so we're making that for them, and then now that we have the podcast initiative, I feel like that's what's going to get us like the attention for not only our class and like the benefits of our class, but also maybe the project too. So that way people can start doing the survey, like get some stuff going.
Oh, that's such a good idea because there's so many different pathways that you could take, but how
Yeah.
do you really like learn to like which one that you align or which one can you see yourself going in the direction of because it's so specialized, I imagine. You really want to make your choice carefully. So that's
Yeah.
awesome.
And so now that we have like a good way for them to decide, or we're developing, a good way for them to decide, now we're also um, helping more people, I guess, get to that decision because, some people aren't even aware that they'd be interested in this stuff. And there's such like a great opportunity, especially now in this day and age with the access to technology and the ease of access to all the learning that you can do online. Um, and I really just want to make people more aware. And it's like, a personal goal of mine to, spread awareness on that and also have fun along the way, maybe help myself towards a future career along with that as well.
Yeah.
And I think it's really, really, it's really, really great. So.
And what a great channel to sort of share that information with the human element to it, You can have the prettiest brochure describing all the programs, but that's only going to go so far in terms of actually helping somebody figure out where they fit.
Yeah, because I think like most people, like when they think about school or they think about like the benefits of the school, it's like of course they're like promoting themselves because it's like they want to have more people. But I feel like when it's like the students doing it, it like really shows like how the program like actually is, because it's not like we have like a reason. I mean, I'm sure that everybody has their own reason, to be a part of these two initiatives, but it really goes to show how we care about it just as much as the school does itself, because it's great. I think it's I'm really happy that I started coming here, and I really want other people to as well. So yeah.
I kind of want to go there now. You know what I really
Right, let's go.
Yeah, let's go. Let's take a ride. I like that I heard you say, John, that you were working on a project with someone who is now graduated out of the program, completed. So it sounds like you can opt into these different projects with people of various levels.
Yeah. So, and I'm not even I've barely even scratched the surface when it comes to actual web development, but being a manager is its own skill. So I would say, like, even though I might not be the most experienced, the way that me and Rain, the previous student that was a part of the class, we he basically had most of the knowledge as far as like how everything worked out. And I kind of had, I guess, more of like the idea. I mean, I think everybody had their fair share of ideas, but like, we like really took our skills and our our pros and cons and our strengths and weaknesses, and we made everything kind of like glue together. And it's like a really like beautiful thing, because it's like even someone like me that is still like getting into the field and that doesn't even have the most experience yet can still really take action, because everybody's different. I mean, I might be like outspoken, but not everybody is. So everybody has like their own uniqueness about them, and I think bringing that and putting it into, I guess, even just in terms of web development, granted, all the other fields that they could probably do, it really, I think that more people just need to have some more of, self-confidence, and like really be able to have the opportunity to showcase what they can do, you know? Because it's more than just a web development thing. I mean, you can do so many great things in and outside of the course, and that it all correlates and it all like really builds you up as a person, and I'm sure that y'all understand that yourselves. So
Mhm.
um
Yeah, it goes back to what we were talking about earlier this morning and what Emily and I talked about. One thing that she taught me in strength training is like being able to do the hard things, no matter how hard it looks. So everybody has their hard thing. And entering into a project and stepping up to be the manager might be terrifying
yeah.
for most people, right?
I I think that as much as I do like talking, sometimes it does get a little bit nerve-wracking, especially like even today before the meeting, I was like, oh, gotta take some deep breaths, calm
Yeah.
my nerves, because you never know what to expect. But
So what is your like, do you have a process now? Like you're saying, you think about when you're preparing, do you have a process where you prepare for these types of rallying situations?
so I have like a mental way and I have like the actual way. So when it comes to the actual way, like of course, like I got like a good amount of information. I got a feel for what y'all's podcast was like. But as far as like actually like stepping up to like like go out there and like ask the questions and like have that confidence, I think it's like back when I was in high school, I used to do volleyball. And so that for me, like before I would do every serve, I would like breathe in and then I'd like hit the serve over. And I felt like nothing else was like in my it really, I don't know, like everything else didn't matter. It was just about getting it over the net. And I think I've kind of brought that over into some other areas of my life too, where I just like take a deep breath and I just go out of my way and say, you know what, like I'm just gonna do it. I'm just gonna go out of my way. Like I don't care if it's not normal or people find it weird. Like I'm just gonna take the leap of faith, because I think that the more that you step out of your comfort zone, and especially with like strength training too, I mean, you're stepping out of your comfort
Yeah.
zone going to, like work out and, be around other people. It's like the same thing, and it's really just about like taking that action and taking that leap of faith and just saying, hey, you know what, I think I can do it. And taking that first step. And then eventually after that first step, like beyond the procrastination or like whatever other problems you face, like even with like studying, like getting that procrastination out of the way, taking the first step, getting into the studying, you feel so much better like after you've done it.
Yeah.
Same thing.
Literally just getting the reps in, and sometimes stumbling or failing or not doing what you hope to, so that you can feel that like you're not going to die,
Yeah.
and you can get up and do another rep, and on to the next one.
Yeah. And for me, it's about like I'd rather overexert myself and fail than underexert myself and have never failed at all.
Yeah.
Because with all these different things going on and whatever like extra coding stuff I try to do on my own on top of like the classwork, I know that no matter what, I'll have at least learned something, whether it was the best way or not. And I think that if more people took more like initiative over being in those uncomfortable situations, no matter if it's web development or not, like I think that it would overall like help them as a
Well,
person.
and by you putting yourself out there like this, and putting yourself into this situation and volunteering yourself to kind of lead the charge on this podcast, you will inspire others, even if they never tell you. You will change others' perspective on it and inspire others to do the same.
Mhm.
It's very contagious. Like, I know you're too young to know this, but Marianne and Emily, you'll know this.
Yeah.
But do you remember the Dead Poets Society when they're in class and like,
Yeah.
do you know about this, John? Dead Poets Society. It was like a movie from the 90s, I want to say.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he was teaching, what was he teaching? It was poetry, right? So it was language, and poetry. And there's, the teacher was very compelling, but there was a student that really took on like the charge of like rallying everybody, like it all love with this class. It literally stood on the desk. I'm not encouraging you to stand on the desk. But I got that vibe when we were looking in on you guys from the big screen, into the class. It took a little, everyone really rallied around each other to come and almost completed each other's sentences. So when you were describing to me your mission as it's coming together, I really got that Dead Poet Society, like
Yeah.
rallying, like really loving the material and wanting to share. And, I think that's exciting. So do you feel like you're starting to gel with what your mission is?
For me, I think it's like really given me more of like a purpose towards coming to school, and it's really made me feel like better, because I feel like I'm making the most of my time. And I really want other people to feel the same way, like genuinely.
Oh,
I
that's
think
good.
I think it's really been a good influence on my life. And yeah, I just want other people to see that and be focused and have that same drive and passionate feelings
Mhm.
towards something that they love. I mean, with whatever it might be. So
That definitely translates. And, good on Marianne too for creating that environment to not just teach you the tech aspects of things, but to encourage the leadership and the creativity and the connection and community and all these other factors that make, what could, I imagine, be kind of a, boring or
Mhm.
just kind of, linear, straightforward um curriculum into something really cool.
Yes, thank you so much. I spend a lot of time really trying to, like I said, think outside of the box and even individualize. We meet and do like academic and career goals and things like that. Because when I got into education, and especially at the college level, I realized quickly it's even with the younger students, it's really about motivating. Like the technical skills you can learn, but
Mhm.
really the soft skills and that piece, learning how to learn, learning to overcome, inner whatever there might be inner or um, outer
We
things
were talking about
affecting.
like, lack mentality or,
Mhm.
all of that mindset earlier on.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that really plays a factor. No matter how well you know the technical side of things, are you able to be brave enough to implement it, or can you have the courage to really step into that role?
yeah.
Right. And, a lot of times when people are learning, in a cocoon or in a silo, like, it's easy to get distracted, or to get down on yourself or to be comparing yourselves to other people. without knowing what the journey is. And once people start sharing that experience and sharing the journey and sharing their struggles as well as their successes, they do see that we all go through the same things. We've all been there before, and there's no way to be an expert at everything. So that's what we try to do here. So I think it's awesome that John already has that kind of inner flame or that torch. He's like the torch holder.
Yeah.
That's amazing because, people have that spark within them. And sometimes it just takes a little bit more to really ignite that flame. And I just kind of take situations or times in my life where I felt down or I felt like I didn't deserve something or I didn't belong in a place. And I take those moments and I kind of transmute those feelings I had before. So that way I can help guide people to, through those moments as well. And, try to be an empathetic teacher because breaking into tech is not easy. So it's easy for people to get discouraged. And, people tend to sometimes kind of stop before they really began. And so that's what we do in the classroom is to keep going. And we have the support system and just creative endeavors like this and being able to have people from our community, like you and Emily, come in and help be a part of that guiding process and and share your experiences. It's just an amazing, like, cyclical, symbiotic relationship. So I just think it's really special and important to continue to do this and share and be a part of our community.
And this may be a reach, so correct me if I'm reaching, but it seems to me like this, the sort of less tangible aspect of it is going to be what, what keeps the humanity behind tech, so that, like, this whole AI taking over the world, like, we can keep it from, and I don't mean that in the most dramatic Terminator kind of way, but it's getting, is it getting harder and harder to break into tech because of that? Is that true?
I think, some AI can maybe eliminate some lower level tasks, but ultimately, at least as of right now, I don't see it necessarily taking away people's jobs. I think it's actually a tool that we can use, and it's not, it's not a perfect tool either, but it can't, if we use it as a tool, it can help us through our thinking process. But like I tell my students, you can't use it in place of your brain because you're not going to get the right answers. And especially with code, it's not always going to have the most efficient way to build something. So yeah, I think the human element is still very much important, and we're still, I love using AI as a tool, but definitely not as a replacement. So we're still talking to each other. When, as a web developer, you build solutions for people, for clients, and then your client, there's also a user of the product. So your client is not necessarily the user. So the developer and designer have to work together to come up with the solution for a diverse, all the different stakeholders that are involved in the project. So there's no way, an AI can do that without being fed a ton of information. So it's great to be there to help us come up with some ideas or to outline different steps that we can take to and come up with maybe some other solutions that we didn't think of yet. But yeah, we're still talking to the client. We're still talking to the user. It's important to make the web accessible and so that people of all backgrounds and abilities and everything have the same user experience. So it's all those things that we have to think about. So yeah, the human experience is still real. And so yeah, let's not strip that away from each other. Yeah, and I think also then there's with so much technology, sometimes we want to get away from it. We want to go analog.
Yes.
We just want we just want to write things down with pencil and paper. So
I believe that like AI will be like a great tool, and I think it'll like transform jobs. But as far as like actually needing that human connection and needing the humans to connect the AI to do certain things, like there's always going to be a need for that because people get scared. They're like, oh, AI is taking, like, AI is something that we like humans made. Like we're the ones that built it up. So just as much as we built it up, I think it's something that can be teared down as well. And it's made to do human things, but I don't think it's going to go out of control and like do some crazy stuff. It's definitely going to be something that's leveraged by humans as a great tool for success.
Yes. Well, that's how I tend to feel as well, but I'm glad to hear it from people who are actually knowledgeable in the industry.
Yeah, we, Emily and I just recently had an episode where we brought one of my AI bots in on the conversation.
We named her.
Yes,
we named her. That's been my favorite experience with AI thus far.
Oh my God, I love it.
But and it has been a good tool. But the one thing I was telling Emily about AI is, AI has its good days and sometimes it has its bad days. Like one day it'll just be rocking and rolling, and one day you're like, this is such a dud. Thumbs down all the way. Like I'm not even touching it.
So it really is just like us.
Yeah, it is. It's human in that sense. It just has bad days, and I'm just going to send it home. But so you have to use your higher self intelligence to recognize when it is just giving you bunk responses and not doing, like, when it's causing you more work than less work, and it's just not worth it. So I think humans still outperform AI in many times. But I love that it can take away menial tasks that suck a lot of our time and our bandwidth, where we could be using it to create something, just like you said, Marianne, like out of the box. So what I love what you're doing with this program is you've got the technical side and the strategic side, but the creativity, when you're feeding those components, I imagine over time, and where you're passing the torch from one program to the next, and you're all keeping in touch, and perhaps graduates are coming back on your podcast, you guys might create something like that we're not even thinking about today. Like, your podcast could evolve. I think it's really, really exciting because I don't personally think of creativity when I'm putting it together with web development in the same, as much as I should. So I give you a lot of credit for that.
Yeah.
That's the magic of a conscious collaboration, isn't it? The pieces, the ingredients all just kind of seem to come together at the right time, and you can make something, while each individual ingredient is really unique and special and talented on its own. Like, who knows what you can create when you put it all together. It's exciting.
Yeah, I'm really excited to see where this leads. And it feels nice to just have opportunity and to it is a great environment where we can explore and test things. And it feels nice to not be very limited. And I like it.
Yeah.
It comes across that you like it.
And Miss Shaffer, please correct me if I'm incorrect, but like even in our course, one of like the previous students, his name was Josh, right? Josh.
Mhm.
Yeah. So he recently got a job and he came in, or he did like a Zoom call like this, and he ended up talking to us for a bit, and he was talking about all the things that he did in our class in order to get up to getting to that point of having a job. And he was talking about like his difficulties with um getting hired at one place and how they like promised him something and then they didn't, and stuff like that. But he was also telling us about something called front end mentor. And another like really cool thing about our program is that not only do we have like the previous students kind of like guidance as far as like their experiences and like what they did, but Miss Schaefer actually added like that course to our curriculum, like in the class. So I found that really cool just because it's like like what we're learning, especially in the tech industry, like changes, and I think that like even like changing like our learning sometimes to like try something new or try like some sort of like different like projects, it's like really interesting. And having that also with like the podcast and the IT Academy as well, it's just like it's like it feels like it could become anything. Like
Yeah.
it's like really unpredictable.
It's
So
going to tap into different learning styles too, and people who may not excel in the traditional, schooling modalities can really just have a chance to shine.
yeah, because it leaves like that extra time for creativity also. And I think like really like taking things up on your own. That's why I feel like um being in this course for me is like really great, because it's like not only am I like still doing like the things that I need to do in order to get my certifications, I also have like extra time to do the extra stuff too, which I think like also like will like really help like um not only develop other people's careers, but help maybe like bolster mine, we'll see. But
Yeah.
Yeah,
and I think
absolutely.
something that I personally want to do is, aside from the podcast and like some of the other school stuff, like the project and like the curriculum and all that, I really want to make my own YouTube channel as well, and like probably put that on my LinkedIn, and like really just have like random videos about my personal experiences and like the things that I've done, which I think would be like pretty cool. But definitely just keeping it simple for right now. But I think like the options and like the different things that and how like the industry changes and like things that we could do specifically at PTC, all of it's just like really interesting seeing the dynamics between everything and everyone, even on an individual level, on a general level, and it's really really cool. So
Yeah, I guess LinkedIn is probably like the go-to platform for you, especially coming out of a program for employers to find you. And they have such a good newsletter on option on LinkedIn now, which really boosts a lot of your visibility and positions you as an expert. That might be something.
Oh, yeah, that's a great
So
idea. I didn't think about that. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, you could do some spin-offs there of the podcast, like material, if you're doing the transcripts or whatever, to feed content into newsletters. Maybe make like an organization LinkedIn, as if it
Mhm.
were like an organization, and then each of the podcast participants has that as like a role on their page, so that gives you credit and visibility to future employers or clients that you may have.
Definitely. I love that idea. We'll definitely start doing that.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't do that really very well myself, but I see that being very good for you, because I do see a lot of people in your space that I'm connected to in the LinkedIn area, and that's really growing. And you don't have to put as much money into LinkedIn to get started.
Yeah, I do like really promote and it's pretty much a requirement for all the students to have a LinkedIn, and we even brought in a photographer to do headshots and
Oh,
That's amazing.
yeah.
what cool program you guys have.
Thank you.
I know. I wish I had about
So
it.
applicable, like
Mhm.
Yes, yeah, it's just important for it to be because it is career technical education. So I want to give every opportunity for everyone to succeed. And again, people of all abilities and diverse backgrounds. So, like you said, Emily, it takes thinking outside of the box again to really meet people where they are. So yeah, all of everything that we talked about today is all for that ultimate goal. So yeah, I
And
can't.
I think it's like endless too. I mean, I guess you might feel like it's competitive within the space, but the world needs more of you, not less of you, really.
Yeah,
To keep on top of everything as fast as it changes. I mean, how fast everything in web development and security. Like, I don't know. I need people to do that for me and keep me
yeah,
honest on it because I'm so diverted into other directions. And I just think with the more advances and the way that we're seeing things blow up, especially this year, um, yeah, you guys are doing the right thing by getting on more platforms to encourage people. And that's great that you can really get started and immersed into a career rather quickly.
hmm yeah.
So
So we
that's great.
want it to like mimic the workforce in the classroom, so that they can then say they have these projects that they worked on. They were the founder of the podcast, initiative, part of the founding crew. So any opportunity to have experiences like that, I'm always willing to bring that into the classroom.
it will differentiate them, you know, um, as PTC students from, the competition.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's the goal that, people, if when they're thinking of high quality education and high skilled workers, so that students and employers are looking to PTC.
And you guys are so genuine too. I really got that feeling in talking to everyone this morning. John, you shared a little bit about wanting, if you want to talk a little bit about that sense that you wish that like all the things that you could tell an earlier version of yourself. I think that was really cool.
Yeah, because before I started this program, I knew that I wanted to do some sort of like entrepreneurial thing. Like I always felt that like growing up that I wanted to like kind of because going through like the school system, like the school system is like, oh, you have to do it this way and you got to do this work and for this, like it seems it's very like it's like a very certain block.
Like regimented.
Yeah, very regimented. And I think that like even though that's great, even though like you can go more of like the traditional path and you can do things like more so in like an orthodox way, I would rather kind of I kind of want to do things like really differently. Like like I always had a feeling that I just didn't like really like the way that things were, and I like really wanted to go down like a different path. And I felt like web development for me was kind of that outlet because it's like you can make so many different things and it has that like option for creativity, but even beyond that, like it could like lead to some sort of business down the road or like a startup or um so like anything like that. Like heck, I'm doing a podcast now. Like I would have never known that like 5-6 months ago. And even though it does get like I feel like the burden of having a lot of things to do can be a little bit overwhelming sometimes. On the other end, like I originally felt like I didn't have enough to do. Like I didn't like really know what I was doing. I was kind of just like going through the process and I was like, oh, but now that I've kind of found something that I'm interested in, and now that I've finally understood that it's possible for me to be successful in my own way, it's really it gave me like that shiny object syndrome. It like really made me just like, wow, like I love this so much. I really want to do everything. And obviously it's a little bit difficult to do everything. But I definitely want to do my best and do as much as I can. And it's really cool. So
well, that's how you know you're in the right place. And I just got to ask it because this is our podcast, so we can. I'm going to ask a non-technical question and a more conscious collaboration style question, and I have some guesses. But John, I got to know what your zodiac sign is.
I'm a Gemini.
I knew it. Yes. When you started talking about wanting to do everything and sort of wanting to have your hands in everything, I'm like, I know how that goes.
It clicked.
Okay. Makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, I think what you're saying, John, too, is like a lot of people might say, I don't want to volunteer for this, and I don't want to volunteer for this on top of my program because it'll be too much work. But the way that you're describing it sounds like it's just fueling the momentum towards what your purpose is. Like you might not even like to know. And how old are you again?
I am 18.
18, like 18, and you're getting a sense of purpose and such experience. Do you know how, I'm in my 40s and I really didn't start to gel, and Marianne's nodding yes, and he's nodding yes, like to feel that sense of purpose and to feel that like drive and want and feel comfortable and brave enough to like break out of the mold of the system of the things, and question things and volunteer for things and risk failing is, that's really great for me to hear because I have so much hope for the future. And what things, and how things may evolve is that you're already connecting with what your purpose is in a very intentional way. That's congratulations. That's great.
Yeah,
and
I feel history in the making with you guys.
Yeah,
I really do.
all you guys. I love that. I love how everybody's like, I could really get a sense of everybody's personalities as you, like, John, you would start the conversation and then someone would complete your sentence. I think there's going to be a lot of really valuable content that comes out of your podcast. And I hope that, and I know that when you're creating your podcast, it will make it accessible for someone like me. You'll be able to dumb it down a little bit so that I will continue my interest for what you're doing and feel encouraged that I can bring someone into my business to help me with these things that are so confusing to me that I pretend they don't exist, and they do, and I need help. So I'll be looking to you guys to come work with me.
Yes, we can definitely help.
Yay.
I know from like a business perspective, you want to like give so much value to someone that they can't like say no.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, it's like what can I do to like, because it seemed like everybody when I got into the class was like very like in solitude, like alone. But now that I've like really gone into like trying to like get that communication established between everybody in the class just as it is, like there's like so many things that like I didn't know and so many other things that like some of like the former students probably didn't know that, and because we're like sharing all that information together, it's like it's like really making us stronger as a whole. And I really like look forward to upping our value together as like a group, and potentially for like business owners, that would be like appealing because we have like that connection to PTC and and if we build that strong base at PTC of like all this knowledge, and it's kind of like a library almost. It's like a big like program of like big chunks of information and all these connections and references. Like I really want to build that up so that way future people that come to PTC can really do well and be excited to be there. So
You've got a vision. Keep rolling with it.
heck yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Marianne, you must be so excited just to see the outcome of this.
I really am. Yeah, it's really an honor to see people like John and the other students in the program, changing careers, overcoming life's obstacles, trying out something new, following a passion, and so it's really so amazing for me to be able to help support and guide and mentor people that are, transforming their lives. And it's so great to see, John at 18 to be like way ahead of the game from where I was at 18. It's
Oh yeah.
it is like to see these special qualities come out in people. Like this is where you see like the good in the world. So, this is why I'm a teacher, because I want to be connected to my community. And this is where, if you want to, it's not always roses every day. I mean, we have to push each other. So that means, we have hard conversations too, but out of that comes these just amazing moments. And this is where, you can find, if you ever get down on the world or whatever, go into your local community and volunteer, go into a classroom, help teach someone something, learn something from someone, and those moments come out. And I always I want to be surrounded by those moments all the time. So we make
great advice. Yeah, that's great life advice.
Yeah, and it does. It feels so good. I felt so good all day. I've been telling everyone about you guys, that all my clients, anyone I've been on the phone with.
Oh my gosh.
It's such an afterglow to meet people that are at the precipice of something that's going to be so fun and leave such a legacy and help people come through the program, and it'll just grow. It's refreshing, especially when you're, sometimes overloaded with negativity and all the distractions that we have. There's, I think, being able to see the bright side of things is so wonderful.
Definitely.
So how can, people, if they have questions and they're inspired, how can they get in touch with you guys to get involved with your program?
So you can go to the general website for Pinellas Technical College, which is myptc.edu. And web development, we're on the Clearwater campus. So there is a program page for web development. People can also reach out to me directly. The email is shafferma@pcsb.org. So SHAFFERMA@pcsb.org. So yeah, if anyone is curious about the program or any other program, you can contact me directly. Whenever our IT Academy website comes out, we'll definitely share that link as well. But yeah, that's how you can get in touch with me.
Yeah,
awesome. And we'll drop the links for everybody in the description.
Yeah, we'll include the links in the description. And I imagine too, there may be other educators that are interested in reaching out at other classes that want to learn what you're doing, if they're listening out there.
Yes, so. I love to collaborate. I'm always open to ideas. Like John said, I'm always changing things up and implementing things to try to, stay just a couple steps behind the changing times. So I love talking to people and collaborating and trying new things. So reach out.
It's working. Yeah.
Thank you.
Beautiful. John, do you have any last words of wisdom? Anything that you had that you wanted to put out there?
A little cryptic. Any last words, John?
I do.
Do you want to stand
they are. My last words are: thank you so much for having us.
We're so happy to have you and to witness this, and just to have the opportunity to meet everybody. And Emily and I are here for you guys, and we're going to keep everyone updated. In fact, we encourage all of our listeners and anyone who found us today, join us inside of the Conscious Collaboration Collective, our closed and private Facebook group. You can connect with us on Instagram, and our link tree is there to find us on all the other platforms. And we want to thank you guys again for being here and spending the day with us, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Sharing with something like that's so close to your heart and all the dedication. It's such an honor to have you, your first time podcast.
Yeah, we did it.
Congratulations.
Love it. Love it. I have a feeling this will be far from the last time that the world hears from you guys. So
yes, and
you heard it. You heard them here first.
And come back sometime, we hope.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, thank you so much. And we'll look forward to hearing these updates from you and to listening to your podcast and subscribing to all the channels. And what do you say, Emily? Close it on out?
Let's close her out.
All right. I'll talk to you in 5.
Talk to you in 5. Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Thank y'all so much for listening to our podcast. If you haven't yet, please be sure to subscribe, rate, review, and share with all your friends so they can join our circle of collaboration on this journey. You can find us on Instagram at Conscious Collaboration Podcast, on Spotify, iTunes, and Audible, to name a few. Please join us next time for another deep dive into how you can live life in more alignment, mind, body, and business. Send us your questions and comments in our DMs or email us at consciouscollaborationpodcast@gmail.com. See you in 5 minutes.